So how about that, man? Jon Jones, he's back. He's got a fight booked against the United Healthcare System. Oh man, Jon, never change. Jon, I hope you stay Jon Jones forever. Seriously. Anyways, if you guys haven't seen my video yet, I'm just checking to see if my live stream's good, because yesterday was being funky. My camera wasn't working. Oh, by the way, I hit 30 subs, so appreciate you guys for the 30 subs. That's actually surreal. 30 people decided to click that button and watch, bro, and enjoy. So shout out to all you 30 folks. Anyway, sorry, just had to fix that up over there real quick. All right, anyways. So yeah, the best UFC fights to watch as a fight fan. I dropped this video. Guys, I'm going to go through my list real quick. You know, might as well. Why not? But Volkanovski versus Islam. This fight makes the list 10 out of 10 times. Let me see here. Just adjust this a little. There we go. Cool. Yeah, Volk versus Islam. 1. Obviously, we know how 2 went. And it's not as good of a fight. But Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev 1. Max versus Justin Gaethje. I rank pretty high. A lot of people are going to say, oh, well, it was one-sided, bro. Oh, well, Max Holloway, he just, like, destroyed him, and Justin Gaethje didn't even make it a close fight. You're ridiculous if you say something like that. You are literally ridiculous if you say something like that. Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. It's got to be up there as one of the all-time 3-round fights, like, I've ever seen. Gilbert Burns literally made Khamzat Chimaev look human in this fight. Daniel Zellhuber, Esteban Ribovic. Unless you've been living under a rock, if you're an MMA fan in 2024, this fight was fight of the year. It was fight of the year. Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. Absolute banger. Yuri Prohaska versus Glover Teixeira. This was also very fire too, bro. This was all hands down all time one of the best comebacks. You thought Mike Breenan versus what's his name was a comeback? You thought Merab giving 2 rounds to Umar and then coming back was a comeback? Yeah, no. Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prohaska, all-time fight. It was violent, and Yuri got the finish when he needed it the most. Yuri got the finish when he needed it the most, bro. So shout out Yuri. Sean O'Malley versus Chris Moutinho. This fight, although it's not popular throughout the community, I do believe that this fight is an all-time, at least for me, bro. Sean O'Malley looked on a different level during this fight. Yeah, Chris, you know, he didn't really do much. He kind of just crept forward, you know, zombie-esque his way throughout the fight. Honestly, probably cut a few years of his career and his life off during this fight. But Sean O'Malley, this was an all-time performance by Sean O'Malley. You thought his knockout was raw against Aljamain Sterling. Sean O'Malley knocked Chris out like 13 different times, and Chris just kept coming at him. Like, and Sean just kept styling on him. I mean, he was dribbling imaginary basketballs. He was jumping up, you know, taking fadeaway shots on this dude. Like, after landing a combination, like, this is an all-time performance by Sean O'Malley. So I rank this fight high, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it right now. Jon Jones versus Dominic Reyes, all-timer. This fight right here is one of those fights where you go back, you say, oh, well, Dominic Reyes, you know, I kind of want to favor it toward Dominic Reyes. Like, he won the fight. And you could literally argue that. You could argue that Jon won. You could argue that Dominic Reyes won. You could argue that either of these two guys won on that night. You know what I mean? One, you know, specific judge maybe leans a different way that night, and all of a sudden we're talking about Dominic Reyes winning that fight and not Jon Jones. We're talking about Dominic Reyes beating the GOAT. We're not talking about Jon Jones and an undefeated UFC career, okay? Even though he has that no contest to Matt Hamill, but that's not a loss. But yeah, this is an all-timer too. Go watch this fight if you haven't. Paulo Costa versus Yoel Romero. Dude, look at Yoel Romero in the frame, bro. I could fit two Paulo Costas. Technically, his shoulders go all the way out to here, right? Look at this. Yoel's shoulders probably go out to like right here. Dude, that is insane, bro. Paulo Costa literally goes to like the beginning of his neck almost. This is mental. Crazy. But anyways, yeah, this was an absolute cinema too. It was a little bit of a sloppier fight. But, dude, back and forth. Paulo and Yoel probably dropped each other at least like 5 or 6 times in this fight. Insane, bro. Insane, dude. Go watch this fight right now too if you haven't. And Doo-Ho Choi versus Cub Swanson, an honorary mention. Man, this fight, banger. That's all I got to say. It's a banger. Go watch this fight also if you haven't already. And then some honorable mentions that I wanted to bring up before, you know, I get into UFC 312 and the whole Jon Jones news and all that crap. Brandon Royval, Tatsuro Taira. Phenomenal flyweight fight. Demetrius Johnson and Henry Cejudo too. You also see on there another phenomenal flyweight fight. Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev. Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald, specifically too. Okay? If you don't have that fight on your top list of all-time fights, like, you either don't like violence or you've never seen this fight. TJ Dillashaw versus Renan Barao. One of my all-time favorites, bro. Absolute. TJ was on top of the world during this fight, okay? TJ was on top of the world. Phenomenal performance by him. Yeah, I know he was, you know, using PEDs and performance enhancements and whatnot, but still, I mean, you can't take away from the fact that this dude literally had the performance of a lifetime. Not to mention how big of a dog TJ Dillashaw was during that fight. Like, literally no one thought, not even a single soul thought that he was even going to make it out of like the 3rd or 4th round. Like, everyone just thought Renan Barao was going to come in here and destroy him. And then TJ just skilled all over him, bro. Robert Whittaker and Yoel Romero. I already mentioned Yoel Romero with Paulo Costa, but the Whittaker fights, both fights were phenomenal, bro. But the second fight specifically, like, that fight also took a lot off both Robert Whittaker's career. I mean, not necessarily Yoel Romero. He's still like 47 and fighting, but yeah, man, those two fights took a toll on Robert Whittaker. Like, genuinely, Robert Whittaker, if he wouldn't have fought Yoel Romero, his career would have went completely different. I mean, who knows if he would have even lost to, he probably would have, but still detrimental to Robert Whittaker's career, that's for sure. And then I had to give the WMMA community some love, man. I had to give WMMA in general some love. Zhang Wei Li versus Joanna. Dude, this fight, if you can't sit here and tell me that you won't watch WMMA fights and you don't enjoy WMMA fights if you haven't seen this, bro. Like, you have to see this fight in order to give it a shot, give it a chance, all right? This will change your perspective, at least on Zhang Wei Li. You know what I mean? She's worth watching for sure. Zhang Wei Li, one of my favorite fighters in the community, dude. She's super nice. She no English whatsoever, but she's like an absolute pleasure to watch. Just like, she's just a nice, like, her interactions, I mean, not her fights. Like, it's just a pleasure to watch her interactions with, other fighters. Like during the photo shoots today, I mean, there was like multiple videos of Zhang Wei Li going up to people. She saw Charles Oliveira and hit him with a Shama. Shama. Oh my God, dude. Zhang Wei Li is amazing, man. She's got a heart of gold. And yeah, I'll definitely be watching. Everyone hates on like WMMA, like I said, but I'll be watching Zhang Wei Li this weekend. Come this weekend, I'll be watching Zhang Wei Li, and I'm super hyped for that fight. And I'm kind of scared because Tatiana Suarez is bad, man. Tatiana Suarez is a very good grappler. She's very strong in the wrestling department, and oh my God, Zhang Wei Li. I'm going to be stressing. I'm going to be stressing this weekend for sure, bro, for Zhang Wei Li specifically. Now, what I wanted to get into, let me open up a new tab here and pop this open. So Sean Strickland, this is crazy because I posted a video like as soon as Sean Strickland's UFC 312 photo shoot came out. I posted this picture. Let me move this over here real quick. All right, so yeah, so I posted this, right? People were trying to tell me that this was a freaking bruise. Are you kidding me? Are you literally blind? You would have to be blind in order to tell. Dude, I had dudes in my freaking comment section telling me I needed a new prescription, bro. I had dudes in my comment section telling me I needed a new prescription on these mother effers because I couldn't see that this was... What is this? Dude, it's a little freaking crater in Sean Strickland's hand and your arm, and you're trying to tell me that is freaking a bruise? Oh, yeah. He literally has the Philly shell defense, bro. He's obviously going to get jabbed in that specific... Yeah, that definitely looks like he got jabbed up in that specific section, and now all of a sudden, freaking yellowish, freaking purplish shit is coming out of his arm. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Who in their right mind would sit here and tell me this is a bruise? I was literally... Oh my... I had to go through and respond to everyone that called this a bruise. Just because I was on that level of petty. Are you kidding me? Now, Sean Strickland claims he is immune to staph. I don't know if you guys saw that, but, he says it won't affect him, which, most fighters... I talked about this the other day, but most fighters go into UFC fights, specifically UFC fights, like lower promotions and stuff. You'll see people pulling out. You'll see this. You'll see that. UFC... You don't really see pullouts unless they're forced or you're like Arman Sarukian and you're pulling out of title fights. But dude, most of the time UFC fights, especially like these main event ones, there's literally at least one fighter that's getting staph. On the main card, it's like a 100% guarantee that someone is going to get staph and fight with it or fight coming off of antibiotics. Now, the thing with Sean Strickland is, like, look at this. Yeah, that definitely looks like a bruise, buddy. What? That is ridiculous, bro. The thing with Sean Strickland is Dricus is going to put the pace on him. Dricus du Plessis is going to put an absolute insane pace on Sean Strickland. And, oh yeah, also, I got to go check out the Jon Jones news. Surprise, UFC champ Jon Jones announces next fight, next opponent, and it's not Tom Aspinall. Let's watch this. I kind of want to watch this real quick. Let me turn up the volume on this. Oh, wait. Hold on. Display. Interesting. I don't know what is going on right now. I don't know what is audio input video capture device. All right, whatever. All right, so listen. So I'm not gonna look at the video. This next fight for me is a personal one. Laughable fake press conference. Jon Jones message. Let's see if this pops up. Jon Jones announcement's probably a better thing to look up. Jon Jones announcement. All right, here we go. Reddit never fails, boys. Reddit never fails. While this may not be a traditional fight for me, it's obvious that too many Americans are being hurt and forced into medical debt or bankruptcy by a united healthcare system so greedy that hospitals and insurers hide their actual prices so that they can charge us whatever they want. Their estimates are BS, and the corporate greed in America, in the American healthcare system, is breaking people and families across the United States. I've seen it countless times in my own community where I have friends, family, and neighbors who are even afraid to get the care that they need because the entire system, without real upfront prices, is dishonest and rigged for corporate profit. Time to hold these healthcare bullies accountable. Power to the people, power to the patients. I am in shock. After his announcement, I was absolutely certain there was no question about what he was going to announce. I was excited all morning, counting down the hours, all to find out that he's not going to announce a crypto scam. There is still time. I have hope. That's hilarious. When you are so afraid of Aspinall, you decide the American healthcare system is an easier opponent to beat. Healthcare system have no grappling, brother. American healthcare system has a good stranglehold on American people, brother. But nobody check if they have Kevlar. How good are Aspinall and Francis? Just about everyone in heavyweight. Francis cuts to make 265. Yeah, that is insane. Francis Ngannou cuts weight. That's mental. I mean, he probably doesn't cut a lot, but... Wait, this is interesting. Francis cuts to make 265, but Tom doesn't. In some of his videos with Eddie Hall, he has talked about nerves making him unable to eat/sleep around his fights. And so that makes him cut. Like when he fought on that London card, he said he had been up for 24 hours plus. Imagine being that much of a killer sleep deprived. How good could he be without a good night's sleep? Oh, how good could he be with a good night's sleep, not without? Dyslexic. The dyslexia hitting me. That's actually insane. I did not know that. Tom Aspinall has issues in general with... Sorry, let me push this to the side. With sleeping, bro. Sleeping around his fights, man. American healthcare system's a weight bully. That's how you do it. You trick him into thinking it's possible. Time for the UFC to start talking about stripping him. Dude, yes, bro. Why have we not done this? Seriously, I get Jon is a monster and is a beast, but I mean, if he's going to hold up the literal potential superstar career of Tom Aspinall, why is he still the champ? Dana said by July if he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. What? So why are they just letting him hold the belt till July? Like what? Tom Aspinall could be fighting right now. He could literally be fighting like Volkov or Cyril Gane maybe. I don't know. Whoever the UFC would give the title shot to afterwards. With Strickland's delayed, denied, disposed shirt Are we going to see something fun soon? Jon is delaying, denying, and disposing Tom's title opportunity. That's actually mental, man. That is crazy to me. I know Tom Aspinall, he's a killer, and I get where Jon's coming from. Like, he doesn't want to just fight Tom. He doesn't just want to fight Tom and, not either get like if he loses, he loses. Like, it's detrimental to his career. If he wins, everyone's just going to be like, oh, Jon Jones, we expected him to win. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with Jon Jones? But let me just say this. I don't get where all these people are getting the notion that Tom Aspinall doesn't do anything for Jon's career. Like, are you kidding me? One of the baddest, most vicious, most, like, versatile heavyweights. I mean, for crying out loud, Tom Aspinall literally moves like a featherweight. Like, Tom Aspinall moves like a featherweight. And you can't tell me otherwise. You can't sit here and tell me, oh, no, Tom Aspinall is plotty. Tom Aspinall is slow. No, he's not. No, he is not. I think the only downfall that Tom might have is he literally doesn't have any, like, deep experience. So if he ever does go against a heavyweight, that's like... But then again, it's like Tom Aspinall has fight-ending power. So whoever he goes up against, he can knock out. He can knock out. Whoever he goes up against, he can knock out. So it's like... Bigger than a fight. Well done. These are not real people, I swear to God. Brian Sporman, bigger than a fight. Well done. Well done, Jon. That's freaking hilarious. I got to remind myself whenever I get into it with someone on Reddit that there are people that comment beautiful on Kim Kardashian's Instagram. Brian Sporman, the most unbelievable stereotypical sounding name for a deadbeat American on a movie. Okay, officer. Bro would rather fight capitalism than Aspinall. Jon is such an important member of society when you recognize how much he helps people, such as his coke dealer, roid dealer, and his wife, whom he loves to spar so he can improve on her form. And his beloved hit-and-run victim, who he graciously helped avoid paying insurance by running away from the crime scene. Bruh. Is the Tom Aspinall fight, is that just something that Tom's never going to get because he doesn't deserve it? Maybe he has to follow in Jon's footsteps, man. Maybe he just has to do some crazy whack stuff and, Jeez. Jamal Hill's thumbs down. Just vacate, you duck. Just vacate. Did people really think he'd announce the Aspinall fight? I was thinking more of his retirement announcement, lol. My gullible ass thought today was going to be the day. Yep, no, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I did too. I really thought that Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones was solidified. I mean, Tom has come out and said they're working on it. Tom has come out and said it's in the process. It's looking good. But who knows, man? Who knows? I mean, with Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones announcement odds, minus 200 crypto scam, minus 1400 podcast, plus 100 Dana White marriage proposal, plus 120 retirement, plus 200 coming out as the LGBTQ, plus 400 child announcement with Nina Drama, and then plus 9,999 fighting Aspinall. I highly doubt it's going to be a fight announcement. Tom did the same thing, only to announce a shirt or something pointless like that. That's why the payout is so big for Aspinall announcement. Screw it. Word LOL. He's got to say a whole lot of nothing. He legitimately just felt like getting 5 minutes of airtime and acting like he's a hero that's going to save the world. That is crazy, bro. That is crazy. I'll take 500 on coming out as LGBTQ. LGBTQ and the rest are somewhere else. He announces he's converting back to Islam. It's either he will propose to Dana or he's fighting the heavyweight ghost Shamil, the pleasure man Gaziev. They broke up already. Dana said Islam is #1 pound for pound. There's room for one more. Announce the fight Aspinall. Announce the Aspinall fight and go through with everything to make the duck claims go away. Then pull out a week before the fight due to injury. Fight the healthcare system for $200. This guy's trying to put his bet in afterwards. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. He's defending the heavyweight title in the new upcoming movie and still. Putting my money on some sort of branded product like protein powder. Oh, I actually, this is interesting. The comment I was replying to got deleted, so I'll post this here. I hate Jon Jones. He's an awful person. If you strip Jon and give it to Tom, he fights Almeida, and then, oh wait. Heavyweight is a mind-numbing awful division. Jones and Tom's situation is the only reason anyone cares about it. I don't get why people want to speed up this process. Either we get Tom versus Jones or we don't. But either way, we're looking at Tom versus Volkov 2 or Tom versus Gane in a year from now. And I have absolutely no interest in either. The moment Jon retires, the UFC is worse off. I don't care how much you hate him. Yeah, I don't know about that much. I really don't know about that. That kind of seems like a crazy statement to me, only because, I mean, Jon Jones left the sport for like 3 years, and the UFC was fine without him. And it's not like he's fighting and having like these big mega fights. Like his last fight was against literally Stipe Miocic. You know, and like, yeah, the Gane fight was hyped up because that was his comeback, but as soon as Stipe got announced, everyone was like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, are you kidding me? And I guess if they would have fought originally, like, that would have been fine, but it took like another year and a half. Like, Jon had to go through an injury process, and then Stipe just like, I mean, he had to wait another year and a half, and when you hit like 40s, I don't care if you're heavyweight, I don't care what division you're in, bruh, Father Time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. And listen, Jon Jones, it's not like, you know, everyone was like going crazy over that fight, especially after the Ciryl Gane fight. Like Ciryl Gane, everyone was like, okay, this is going to be crazy. How is Jon going to move up? How is Jon going to look at heavyweight? How is Jon going to look in this another division? Is he about to become the GOAT of 2 divisions? Is he like, there was all this, you know, we like unknown. It was the beautiful unknown that got everyone ramped and rowdied up about that fight. But now it's like, oh, what happens if Jon Jones fights Ciryl Gane again? What do you think is going to happen, bro? Are you seriously going to sit here and tell me you have no idea what's going to happen? Are you ridiculously just messing with me, or like, what is going on? Nonetheless, it's like it I don't know, it's crazy to me that we're having conversations like these. Like, if you would have said like a year, not even a year ago, but like before the Stipe Miocic fight, you know, yeah, Jon Jones, yeah, he's saying he's not going to fight Tom Aspinall. Yeah, he's acting like, who are you? I thought that was more so to like sell up the fight because You know, Aspinall, yeah, he's pretty good, but he's not like a crazy like worldwide pay-per-view draw. You know what I mean? He's just like a very well-known name throughout the mixed martial arts community. So it's like, meanwhile, Jon Jones, you can mention it to someone walking down the street, and I know I'm sure like every other person would be like, "Oh yeah, I know Jon Jones. He's UFC, isn't he?" You know, it's like you mentioned Tom Aspinall, they're like, who, bro? So that's the thing. I mean, hear me out. Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones would be absolutely epic, but Jon, he's not gonna do it, man. He's not gonna do it. Dana, I want to react to this video because this was interesting. All right, so let me see here. I'm not going to watch that 20-minute video because. All right, so just recently, like not even a few days ago, Dana White had an interview. I can't remember who it was with. Huh, that's interesting. Dana White prepared to move on from Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall and make another fight if the UFC can't seal the deal. I could have swore like 3 days ago, not even, maybe 4 days ago, they dropped an interview and Dana was like, "Yeah, I'm very confident that, this fight's going to happen this year. Ready to take drastic action if Jones versus Aspinall fight talks continue to stall." Dana White and the UFC matchmakers are busy, just a few weeks into one of their highest priorities, booking the title holders, Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. Who is this PFL wannabe mother trucker? Kenny Mokonoa? Jones versus Aspinall seemed destined. Make this a little bit smaller. Jones versus Aspinall seemed destined for an octagon clash after Jones' successful first title defense against Stipe Miocic in November. Aspinall sat cage side at UFC 309 as Jones put on a technical performance against Miocic. Despite initial hesitance in facing Aspinall, Jones has since pivoted on that stance and is in active negotiations with the UFC brass for at least one more fight. In the build-up to UFC 309, Jones hinted at retirement after a legendary career in the octagon. Weeks later, the state of Jones versus Aspinall remains foggy. Dana White proved some clarity on what the promotion is prepared to do should the fight fall through the cracks. Dana White admits stripping Jon Jones is a possibility amidst Tom Aspinall talks. So here it is. During a recent interview with the Mac Life, White provided an update on the Jones versus Aspinall fight negotiations. There's no situation. It's the biggest fight that we can make, White said. I know the fans like to mess with Jon or whatever. Jon Jones isn't afraid of anybody, and Jon Jones will fight anybody. It's just a matter of getting that fight done now. That's our job. Yeah, I don't know about that. Despite White's unwavering confidence, he acknowledged that stripping Jones of the belt is a possibility if the Aspinall fight isn't finalized in the coming months. 100% White shared. If we don't get the fight done, we move on and make another fight. But the night before, I was up in my room with my people until like 6 in the morning. We're working on a lot of stuff right now. There's lots of really good going on right now. So, Dana says, rest assured, guys. We may not be seeing it right now. But there's a good possibility that we do see something like that. I'm curious what everyone's saying here on Reddit. Tom Aspinall provides an update on the Jon Jones fight. I've said yes to the fight, just waiting for his side. Now the UFC to sort it out. Should imagine I'm going to find out in the next couple of weeks. Tom must be new to John's stall tactics. I love Tom, but a couple of weeks, LMAO. Whether Jon is taking the fight or not, we'll be lucky to hear anything for a few months, if not longer. Dana said multiple times that Jon goes off the grid for a long time after fights, and this one I'm sure he'll stretch out as long as possible. Tom knowing in a couple weeks doesn't mean the public will know. When it comes to the title fights, fighters involved usually know everything well in advance through their managers. We fans don't know about what's going on until the fight is pretty much official. Unless our sneaky friend Ariel can leak some ish for us. Chandler didn't know for 3 years. Even if the fight is official, doesn't mean it's going to happen. Yeah, Jones is not taking the fight. He's stalling to see if he can push for Pereira. Same thing he did, stalling Ngannou and pushing for Stipe. Honestly, Tom should just wait until about April, and if Jon hasn't agreed to a date, he should just call out Gane and defend his interim title again in June or July. That is so crazy that we're sitting here and we're just like, what? Defending an interim title? Are you kidding me? Like, I know, I get it. I know, I get it, man. I get it. Like, Tom is trying to do everything he can, and obviously if Jon doesn't agree, like, what's he going to do? But why should he be defending an interim title? Like, why can Tom Aspinall just not get the belt from Jon and start defending that bad boy? He's playing it straight and acting as if it's an easy win. Oh, if it's as easy as Jon saying yes to. Now when the negotiations inevitably drag out, he can go on and say, I don't know what's so hard about this. I've signed my bout agreement. Jon just going to delay and say no. This is the Cliff Notes version. There's going to be a lot of honey dicking between now and then. One said, I remember shortly after the Stipe fight, people were convinced that Jon wasn't playing it to coy to negotiate, but seriously, doubt he takes the fight and just stalls it out. I've never heard that term before, and now I'm going to try and fit it into every conversation I have. Yeah, that's Jon was just playing it coy. Playing it coy. What does it mean to play coy? Person who pretends to be shy but really isn't. Yeah, I'm gonna use that, bro. Playing it coy. I like that. It's going to be the exact same ish with Francis. Months of foreplay and negotiations, then the fight won't materialize, and Jon will either retire or sign to fight someone else like a week later. Yep. And all that stuff about how he'll fight for the right amount of money is just a way for him and his team to say that they weren't offered enough. Oh, Jon. Oh, Jon. Who's going to tell him? Dana, Aspinall doesn't want to fight. Sorry, Tom, but you will not be finding out in the next couple of weeks. Dana will be telling him they're working on it and getting close until like October, and then finally hit him with the you're defending an interim again against Scott in January. That is crazy, man. If Jon doesn't fight, I hope it follows him around. What's funny is Jones actually spells in his name like that sometimes. When he was angry about getting kicked out of his gym, he tweeted something like, there's a Jon Jones poster on every single wall in that gym. Like, bro, how do you forget to spell your own name? I get that, but he's done it as Jon before too. I don't really care. I just don't want to hold up the division and give that title to Tom. Man, that is literally some of the most annoying stuff. Like, how is that even, Jon's not fighting him. His entire identity as a fighter is tied to his undefeated record, and it would shatter him if he lost that. He is not risking that in his last fight. Jon is going to stall him out and retire. He will get a ton of ish for it in the moment, but that's what he's banking on, is that at some point in the future, Tom will likely lose and Jon can do the whole, y'all thought this guy was going to beat me, LMAO, shtick. Yeah, this guy is not wrong, man. This guy is not wrong. Snap Jitsu. Jon is scared it isn't happening. Jon is a total issy. He said some ish about Tom is way bigger than him, and he's probably cuts weight to make 265. Tom weighed 251 against Blades, and Jon was the one who moved up to heavyweight. And Jon weighed 248 against Serial Gone. He's been scared to fight someone his size his entire career. That's why he's been teasing a move to heavyweight since Kane was the champ and only moved up after bulking, getting fat for 3 years. Tom's probably agreed to be significantly undercompensated just to make the fight a possibility. Yeah, that's another thing, man. Tom Aspinall probably has. He's probably agreed to some crazy stuff in order to just have this fight play out. And it's honestly, we're getting further and further away from a Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall matchup. Duck Watch 2025, grab the popcorn. Honestly, I can't wait for Jon to retire and leave the sport. People who hold up belts are just cowards. You either fight or you lose the belt. Dana needs to focus on fights, not protecting people. You might see Jon as a cash cow, but that's only because no one else gets a chance. There could be so many more champions and title fights if he stripped people who just refuse to fight. He just fought 2 months ago. Relax. Let the man get paid. Blame Dana. If he paid him properly, Jones would fight tomorrow. What? He was properly paid enough to fight in the Stipe and Gone, apparently, but now pay is an issue. He delayed that Stipe fight for a long time. He's been yelling about pay for a long time. I hope he gets it. Chill out, fam. Yeah, this might be Jon Jones's burner account, literally. This guy's getting downvoted. Hope literally any other fighter gets money instead of Jones. They are all massively underpaid. Jones is at least rich. He deserves to be effed over in my book. Well, my brother, keep your book alive. Keep your book open. He should have said find out in the next couple of years just to rib Jones a little bit more. Tom Aspinall sitting on the sidelines chasing the dream just like Chandler with Connor. Poor Saps. Jon Jones doing delay, deny, defend like insurance companies when Aspinall makes a claim and he wants to fight. The fight is not happening. It's funny how Dana says I underpaid my guys, so they fight multiple times a year and yet basically heading in the same direction as boxing. Guys are not getting shots, undeserved title shots, useless interims. Almost like it was a ploy to keep them underpaid. Honestly, MMA is in a bit of a worse predicament than boxing when it comes to championship level fights. When ticket and pay-per-view sales determine who gets a shot or who gets the favorable matchmaking to justify the shot, it, in my opinion, waters everything down. You're not wrong, bro. You are not wrong, Lock of the Week Barry. I don't know if you guys even saw that, but I was reading this comment here. Honestly, MMA is in a bit of a worse predicament than boxing when it comes to championship level fights. When ticket and pay-per-view sales determine who gets a shot or who gets the favorable matchmaking to justify the shot, it, in my opinion, waters everything down. Strip Jon if he doesn't want to fight Tom. Jon Jones is about to milk the UFC for as long as he can, as money goes. We'll see if this We'll see if this fight happens or not. I think Jones beats Tom too. He's just on another level than the heavyweights. Yeah, that's a little absurd to think something like that, but to each their own, I guess, brother. Try a couple of years. Jones will test positive for ducking. So we're only looking at a good 12 to 18 months then at this point. Start the clock. This time next year, we are very close. Man, it will be so anticlimactic if in a couple of months / weeks we find out that the fight isn't going to happen. Jones is stripped from the belt or announces his retirement on social media. Tom just unceremoniously becomes the undisputed champ in his first defense, a rematch against Volkov or Gane. If Gane gets a shot again. I hope Aspinall doesn't get Chandlered. UFC needs to force Jon to either sign or vacate. This is a disgrace. I agree, brother. I agree right there with that. I literally... Yeah, I agree. I thought my stream was tweaking a little bit, but no, it's fine. That's what I don't get. Why does it take a couple of weeks for an answer? Sure, negotiations on specifics, like a date or something to do with bonuses or some ish, but verbally agreeing to a fight should take a single phone call. Yeah. Bro, 100%. Hope Tom doesn't sideline himself for 1 to 2 years while Jon stalls. He should talk with Mike Chandler and see how waiting for people goes. It's not happening. The sooner we can move past this, the sooner we can get Tom to start fighting and be the most accomplished heavyweight of all time. Deep down, I hope this means that Dana has set the fight, and if Jon refuses, it means he'll vacate the title in a few weeks. If not, well, I'd love to see the Aspinall fight. If not, well, I'd love to see Aspinall fight Gane and a few other prospects in the UFC. I really wouldn't begrudge him leaving. Obviously, UFC is the main promotion, but Aspinall left other promotions because they couldn't get him fights. If the UFC can't, maybe one can. IIRC, there are a few fighters in his gym there, so it'd be an easy path. Aspinall versus Reug would be a really funny fight, I can't lie. I was the biggest Jon doubter. I thought in no damn way was he going to heavyweight to fight Ciryl Gane after being out of the game for so long. He ain't afraid of Tom. He's got a number and he won't fight him until he gets that number. It's just negotiating tactics with Dana. If Dana don't give him the number, he's just going to keep the belt to be a troll. If he gets it, he's going to fight Tom. He's a piece of ish, and I'm not going to give flack to any fighter that realizes the power that they got over the UFC. Get what you deserve. Who gives a shit about fans? The window for fighters are so short. So go get a big bag, even if it means you sit out for a couple of years instead of fighting for 75K. Nate Diaz is a great example. Guy was making 60, got one fight that changed his life and knew the power he got and got millions in purses every single fight after doing it on his own schedule. Screw Jon and screw Dana White. We were going to see this fight happening and it won't be We're gonna see this fight happening and it won't be Aspinall. We're not gonna see this fight happening and it won't be Aspinall's fight. Eddie, Jon is making a bad look for us, brother. We're not pussy. Just want it to happen. I think we will see Conor in some sort of fight before we see this fight. No, bro. No, sir. Yes, Tom, we all know you've said yes. Spoiler, he will not figure out in a few weeks. I imagine we don't find out in a couple of weeks or months. Jon will let him wait, then claim some ish about money and retires without fighting Tom. Dana the greedy pig just needs to pay out some money for once. I think they can survive for one event, not getting the lion's share of revenue. Man, so we're not seeing Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones. We're not, man. We're not seeing Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones. We're not seeing the absolute mega super fight. And Jon Jones' next fight is with healthcare. This is so crazy. This is so crazy to me. Unbelievable, man. Wow. Unbelievable. Listen, if you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure to drop a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll be live for the entire UFC 312 fight card. Come on in, stop on in, pop on in. I'll have a fight companion go in. We can just chill, talk some UFC fights. You know, I am very excited because there's a bunch of prelims and early prelims that I'm kind of hyped for. Main card, you know, obviously the main card I'm hyped for too, but prelims, Quinlan Salkid, Thickness versus Taporia. Oh man, some absolute bangers. Niam Jargle to start the card off, bro. Anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Even if you tuned in for a second, bro. Even if you tuned in, literally just clicked on the stream, saw my face and said, yeah, I'm not watching this anymore. I appreciate you. Appreciate all the new subs. Appreciate the likes, the comments. Appreciate all you guys. And listen, enjoy the rest of your night. Deuces, boys.